most people, if not all people, can benefit from Property Mentor. The benefits are untold really, in the sense that 1, we can help you create cash flow, 2, we can help you create a secondary income, and 3, we can help you build a pension fund for the future. We invested $9,000, but we've also, over the course of that year, earned £4,188 in cash flow.
From what we heard, it sounded too good to be true. So we thought, maybe let's explore it further and then see how it goes, you know. And it didn't sound too expensive, kind of like middle range pricing. So we were like, have a go. Let's see.
I've signed up for a couple of property newsletters, and it was through one of those that I found out about it. A quick phone call, and I went to one of your taster sessions, and from there was sold, pretty much, yeah.
I've been looking on the internet for a little while now, and well, myself and my wife have been talking about it for a few years now. We looked at different companies, and we came across this company, and it was quite attractive, so we thought we'll give it a go.
There is no specific demographic to a Property Mentor member. The only thing that we're looking for is somebody who actually genuinely wants to build a successful property portfolio. You're going to commit to taking on mortgages, you're going to commit putting effort and work into it, and if you're not willing to put effort and work into it, it's not going to work for you.
To be honest, we've kind of dabbled in properties here and there, and we've done it the amateur way. And when you hear people talk about retiring from property and it's so easy, and we are thinking, hang on a minute, we've dabbled in it and we haven't turned out quite the way they have. So maybe there's something we're doing wrong, and we just need to find out what it is we're doing wrong and do it right this time.
If you were buying it without being a Property Mentor member, this property wouldn't make any sense. But if you buy it with our system, there's a slight difference.
I'm looking to improve my lifestyle, to make it a lot better, so you're not chasing around all the time, so that you can build a residual income basically.
Knowledge of how to buy, how to get the finances, what to look for.
I wouldn't say I'm experienced. The reason I'm following this approach really is mainly for finance and get it up and running and start to develop and purchase my own properties.
46.5% return. Is that a bit more attractive? Basically, we're a one-stop property shop. So people can learn how to do absolutely everything, from organising a mortgage, to buying a property, to renting it out, to managing that property, to reinvesting the money into other areas, other spheres, or they can leave everything absolutely to us and just sit back and be an armchair investor, and all of our properties that we look to buy must make us a minimum of a 24% ROI. So that's a pretty good return on your investment if all you're doing is sitting back and watching it happen. We're here to help individuals build a successful property portfolio. We're only looking for 24 new members per month, so it's a very small amount of people. That then gives us the ability to work with them on a one-to-one basis. We can mentor them, help them, support them, and we can also give them access to our property list, which is probably the largest below market value property list in the UK. That means that if you wanted to, you could join us and buy a property every month without having to go out and do any form of negotiation yourself. So I think that's what makes us completely different from the competition. The software that we have developed over the years is very simple, very easy to use. So it's a basically one finger operation, so you've not got to be a computer whiz. You've got to have some social skills. You've got to be able to talk to people, and you've got to be able to communicate to a reasonable level, all of which we help you with and we enhance, if you like. Sometimes it can be easier for us to work with someone with no skills, because we teach them new skills rather than people who've got skills, and then we have to try and break those skills down and re-teach them, if you like.
I think one of the biggest things for me is how to choose carefully, and I think also how to negotiate. I'm not really a haggler.
For us, it's about accessing funding, getting skills to access funding, raising money, and also sourcing properties. But also, and I know people talk about you make money when you buy properties, and we're like, oh, hang on a minute, you make money when you sell property. So hopefully we're going to find out how to actually make money when we buy properties, and also working out the money side of things, so that making sure that the portfolio, is right from day one, without the fear or the anxiety of going bankrupt when interest rates go up.
We believe that by utilising our system, it protects you from most of the pitfalls that most people fall into in property investment. The downside to our industry is there are all sorts of people out there on the TV, on the internet, and who run other programmes who make property investment look like just a walk in the park, and that very quickly you'll be earning a considerable amount of money. I don't believe this is true or possible. Property investment takes some work, you've got to put some effort in. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's something that you've got to be in for the long game, and providing you're willing to do that, what our system does is protect you from falling into all of those traps and ending up with a worthless portfolio, whereas our portfolios will keep paying out for you for the rest of your life.
I think it's been fantastic. I've enjoyed myself, I've had a lot of laughs.
It's been an eye-opener and an awful lot to learn, but definitely well worth it. And the information you get off Matthew is second to none.
The main value of it has been obviously exposure to the lecturer and the materials. It's nice to rub shoulders with like-minded people, but the main value for me has been the course material, to be honest, yeah.
Just like any business, property investment has as many risks as setting up your own garage mechanic business. It comes with risk, but obviously the risk against the reward can be fabulous. And with the protection of Property Mentor and the protection of the Property Mentor system, it should help you to do that risk assessment before you take that leap and buy a property. The worst thing that you can do in the buy-to-let market is overstretch yourself. Buy the wrong property at the wrong time, put yourself in financial difficulty and lose your portfolio over one deal. The system will stop you from doing that. The lower money properties, that's his idea is to
I've learnt how to do things properly, how to check that you're buying correctly, which is what I wanted to know. And it's there, the system's there, follow the system. I like that.
Everything is taken care of and incorporated into that system, right from the beginning, selecting your property, selecting your area, working out the figures. So it's a whole package. So by the time you start from the beginning to the end, you know you've done the right thing. There's no doubt about it. You've done the right thing.
It's being taught by a fellow who has invested himself and has had good and bad experiences, and he's not telling you something out of a textbook, he's telling you something that's happened and happens and will happen to you when you become an investor. So it's on the money, really.
The software, I'm getting there, yeah, but I think once I've mastered the software, it's like the trick is making sure you use that software, and if it all stacks up as they say, then get in there and proceed.
So I'm going to be starting to look at the properties in the 3 areas that we're looking at and put them through the software, run the figures and see if it works.
Well, I aim to have 2 properties by the end of this year. Both will be done via Property Mentor because, as I say, I've got this huge powerful tool and this training that I'm not fully confident using just yet, but I'm sure that by the end of this year I'll be pretty good on it. So aim is to have 2 via Property Mentor by the end of this year. I will then start looking at some of my structuring my own deals, and in the background keep investing with Property Mentor. They do supply you with very valuable leads and good properties, but obviously I'd like to learn how to do it myself.
So we've done 3 properties now. All of them have returned your deposit to you, just through cash flow if you want them to. They'll all do it because of the discount that we've achieved on your behalf. They'll all do it within the first year and give you a profit on top, enabling you to use the same deposit to buy your next property. And this is how we work, using the same capital over and over and over again, buy more and more property. Where else could you get that sort of return? All of our properties look for a minimum of a 24% return on any personal investment that we make into property. Every property that we look to buy must make a minimum of £300 positive income per month. So if you imagine that you bought yourself 10 properties over the next couple of years, £3,000 plus income after paying all your bills on top of your day job, and make a dramatic difference to your lifestyle.
We've been searching for a very long time to find the right thing to do to change things, not just for us, but for our families as well.